Well, good evening, everyone. They recording me? Are you all right out there? Okay, tonight we have as our speaker, this is Mr. Vince Parker. And Vince is from the Capital Area Corporate Recycling Council, CACRC. He is the Director of Operations. Be kind.
Oh my.
Director of Operations. He's gonna tell us everything that we need to know and must know about responsible recycling. He's gonna tell us about what they do down there, refurbishing and repurposing computers. And I did tag on and ask him to tell us what he knows about AI.
AI. Oh.
Welcome, Vince.
Hello. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. And I love seeing all these beautiful faces. I like meeting new people as well. So as see, kind of want to get out this way so I can see a little bit as well. So I'm the Director of Operations at CACRC, Capital Area Corporate Recycling Council. They've been there since 1996. I became part of their team fresh out of high school. I went there for an internship at 2024, and then that summer of 2024, they're like, "Hey, would you like to be part-time?" So I came in there and I rose to the ranks. I was a tech, I was a warehouse associate, I was a monitor tech, and I came back 2020 after my deployment, and I was like, "Hey, I want to do something different. I want to lead. I had leadership experience overseas. So I'm like, hey, I want to lead. It was some time, but now I'm the Director of Operations. So CACRC, we've been in existence for a while now. What we do that we go throughout the whole entire state picking up electronic scrap. We have 2 trucks that go out throughout the whole Louisiana picking up electronic scrap from school board parishes, from hospitals to other government buildings to some agencies. We go around and pick them up. So we really don't turn nobody down. We just like, hey, they'll call us like, hey, we would like to schedule a pickup. We'll put them in our schedule and ask them some necessary questions and give them all the information that we have to like what we do pick up and what we don't pick up. So the question is, what is e-waste? So this slideshow will tell you guys what e-waste is and what we do in our facility. So how much we use, discard year after year at home, work, and school. The average American has 24 devices per household. So all of us have technology that we use, and we're like, hey, it's working good right now. I don't know, there's no reason for me to upgrade. It's doing what it's doing, but there's times where it's like, hey, my laptop just won't work anymore. My DVD I don't know what's wrong with it, or just other appliances in your house that just stop working. Some people, again, some printers is like, hey, I don't know what to do with this printer. Some people, they have these things in there, have them in the room like, hey, I do not know where to put them after the end of life. So that's what we're here for. We're here for to take those things, no charge for some items, but majority of everything, like again, laptops, desktop, monitors, we accept. We're glad to accept them. We'll give you guys documentation for you to put for your tax write-off if you want it. And then with us, we are R2 and Real certified. So R2 and Real, what does that stand for? RIOS is basically we're doing a proper protocol for, making sure our staff is safe, and R2 is responsible recycling. That means once you give us that device, that if it has information, data on it, that is completely white, and that it is shredded as well. So as we get the donation from all these places, that's one pretty thing that people they also want to worry about, like, hey, what you gonna do with our data? Because again, we get it from school boards, some hospitals like, hey, some of them have social security numbers, some have this, some of that. So we have our own system of wiping that stuff. And if we cannot reuse that hard drive, we shred it. We have a shredder. You guys will see later on this. So how much of those electronics get recycled? So only 30% of electronics in a household ever get recycled. Everything else ends up in the landfill. And when it ends up in landfill, some of the stuff gets shipped off to other countries and other people have to worry about it. So that's kind of it's kind of no good situation because even though you're like, hey, it's out of my house, it's away, it's not away. It's away somewhere else and it's hurt affecting the other people as well. So, so e-waste contains toxic substance. Computer screens, phones, and other devices contain toxic material like zinc, nickel, lead, mercury, barium, and chromium. When e-waste is warmed up in the landfill, toxic chemicals are released into the air, damaging the soil and the atmosphere and the groundwater with toxic heavy metals. So this is a picture of just what it looks like in the land. So again, it's like the average trash man. They just throw it over there. They don't care what happens to it and stuff like that. They just, hey, it's out of our care. All we gotta do is pick it up and throw it away. Here's another one. This is a global e-waste dumping. This is the U.S. produced the most e-waste. Yet they have not regulated how it is to be recycled. Therefore, much of the e-waste has been shipped to countries where it's creating problems. Children who have been tested living in these areas are found to have high levels of toxic heavy metal poisoning and suffer bouts of illnesses. So this is pictures of different countries where we ship off our stuff. Again, we don't recycle it, so it's like we have a whole bunch of e-waste. So by us not recycling, like, hey, it can't stay over here, so we end up shipping it elsewhere where people accept it, and then, but even though they accept it, it's affecting the people that live in there as well. And sometimes I know from just research and other stuff that they kind of incentivize them, like, hey, can you guys clean it up since it's causing such a effect over there too, but still, they still feel the effects of all the metal poisoning and illnesses from that large array of e-waste. Here's some more pictures. As you can see in the background, there's still like, you got TVs, you got electronics, desktops, and just a whole bunch of scrap. And in the bottom photo, you can still see some electronic scrap just in the small weeds of the rocks as well. So we use our computers and phones for all sorts of things, and it stores lots of data, pictures, names, numbers, banks, accounts, and passwords. When you throw these items away, your hard drives and phones have private information that can be stolen by dishonest people. Again, that's why we pride ourselves. Like, once you guys donate with us and you put that laptop or phone and give it to us, we can guarantee you we have a data certificate stating that we will wipe all the information off of there and we will shred if we can't, if we can't do it. So, and our certification shows that we have to abide by that. We can't be like, oh, you cannot do it for this one thing. Like, no, we have to do it. It's not no, okay, every batch is no. Every single thing is wipe or shred. So if we can't wipe it to reuse it, we shred it. And our wiping system, it has a indicator like everything's completely wiped. If there's an error or if it can't fully get wiped, it gets sent to our shredder. We have a picture of the shredder we use later on this slide. Remember, there's no such thing as throwing something away. Andy Leonard from Green Patch USA says there's no such thing as a way. So when we throw anything away, it must go somewhere. So just because you're like, hey, I don't see it anymore, it's a way, I don't gotta worry about it. It's somebody else's problem. We may, oh yeah, it's a way, but again, it's a way nearby, and then it's gonna get shipped somewhere else that somebody else has to worry about. So then this is again another assortment of e-waste that we see as well. So electronics. So again, I like to say like I don't like upgrading all my technology. I don't like having the newest thing. I just like, look, it works. All right, it works. There's no need for me to upgrade to the newest thing, hot thing. I'm good. I'm good with it the way it is. My phone broke and I just wanted the same one. I ain't want a new one anymore. So phone lifespan are 3 to 5 years. Tablet lifespan is 5 to 7. Laptop lifespan is 3 to 8, and PC lifespan is 5 to 8 years. So that's depending on wear and tear. So some people again resist the urge to upgrade sooner. That depends on the person. Some people want the newest thing, and I can understand it. But also it's like, okay, what you gonna do with the other one? Again, the people that sometimes they incentivize like, hey, bring in your phone and we're refurbished. So they also is trying to prevent it to go to landfill. But also again, if you're like, hey, I just have these old phones lying around, I don't know what to do with it, you can bring it to us and we make sure it goes to the proper end of life. So what I mean by that is everything you donate with us, it's not like, okay, we send it downstream vendors and those downstream vendors gonna make sure it's good. Our downstream vendors has to have an end of life. We have to know where it's going. So it's not like, hey, we send it to one of our people is in Texas. Hey, we send it to them. And they're like, and somebody, so where it goes from there? We don't know. We know where everything is going. So we document that and make sure that we know everything's going. And we have to also check our people that we're sending to our vendors, like, hey, where you shipping your stuff? And show us data that you're sending it to there. So that way we can, make cross our eyes, cross our T's and dot our I's. So CACRC is a 5013 nonprofit organization, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, that recycles, reuse, and old electronics. Our mission is to promote environmental leadership and access to technology through responsible recycling of computers and other electronics, saving toxic material from landfills and redirecting technology to individuals in need. So again, we go throughout the whole entire state. You'd be surprised how many people just like, hey, just come pick this stuff up. We have some organization like, hey, in order to get new material, we gotta put out the old material. And then some other organizations like, hey, some businesses close and they're like, hey, can you guys just come and just pick this stuff up? We're closing, we don't know who to call. We have all this electronic stuff. We need to get this out of here. And they were like, sure, okay, we can pick it up. Our logistics coordinator, he'll let them know, like, hey, again, this is what we don't take, this is what we're kind of charged for, and it's very minimum of what we do charge for. But again, and sometimes depending on stuff like that, it just our logistics coordinator will let you guys know, like, hey, okay, we're booked right now, or they'll put you down for a day, and then they'll follow up with you as well, say like, hey, because they they don't like to stay idle. I've been there for a long time, and those two trucks that we ship out every single day, they go throughout the whole entire state. They go to a New Orleans region, do 3 pickups, come back, and another one be probably up in Monroe picking up the material and coming right back. So they try to go throughout the whole entire state, and I think there sometimes they even go to Mississippi, which is a wee bit. They have to leave early for those. So be part of the solution. In 2020, CAC diverted 602 tons of electronics from the landfill. In 2021, CACRC diverted 770 tons of electronics from the landfill. In 2 years, we saved 2,743,322 pounds from e-waste from entering our soil, air, and water. So by me being there and stuff like that, sometimes I'm in my head is down. I'm like, hey, we gotta recycle stuff. We gotta go through the proper networks and stuff like that. Make sure like these are computers, these are desktops, these are monitors, processing and sorting them. What we can refurbish, what we can't refurbish. So I'm just making sure all these things that are incoming are getting processed and then they're outgoing in a better process. So they're sorted and they're like, all right, cool. And the things that we are refurbishing, making sure they're like, hey, our techs, they do quality checks. When they do these quality checks, they test for key functions. Does it power on and off? You unplug it from the back from a charger, how long does it stay on? Does all the buttons work? So they have a list of key functions that they have to test before we even put it out for the public to purchase. So CACRC has a very productive year in 2023. So in 2023, 1,644,365 pounds of e-waste diverted from the landfill. That's 822 tons. 728 commercial recycle pickups completed, and 4,618 computers revived. So again, just because even if like I know some people like, hey, so can I bring in my Windows Vista desktop from that's 97? Yes, you can. Even though we can't refurbish it, we would send it to a downstream vendor, with that way they can properly recycle it. Again, because we try to pride ourselves and try to make sure we refurbish good quality products. We had problems in the past where it's like, hey, we can't really put, modern technology on this computer that came from 97. Because as soon as it gets into consumer hands or the public hands, they're like, hey, it has a lot of issues. They're like, okay, there needs to be a cutoff point. So that cutoff point, like we try to make sure that everybody that once these computers get in their hand, they're modern and then they can handle the operating system. So that way when it gets to you guys were like, hey, mine just shuts off, it's running slow or nothing like that. So we try to reduce all those factors. So this is some stuff we do accept, and there's some stuff we don't accept. I'm trying to make sure this one's accurate. So the little pamphlets that I gave you, my friendly guy, he pointed out that it says televisions we don't accept in televisions. We absolutely do accept televisions. I think it was early last year we started accepting televisions. I have the picture on my phone of the pricing for the television, but the only things people will have to pay for is television, printers, and copiers. Those are the only three things. Those are the only three things people have to pay for. So, and I don't know if the price sheet is right here for printers, scanners, fax machines. It's a $10 fee for just a regular size one, and 25 for the large. And by 25 is large, that's like the tower ones, the ones they're hefty. They're very hefty. And they're office?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, office. Office printers, yes. So thank you so much. So those are things we charge for in televisions. They should have a price thing. I have it on my phone. But it's just on here, stuff we do accept. So yes. So that's what we do accept television. So some people are like, hey, I got this old television and I don't know what to do. You can bring it here, but there is a fee. It's not on here, but there is a fee. So just so you guys know beforehand. And some of the stuff, this is the list we don't. So being that we go throughout the whole entire state and stuff like that, some of the stuff sneak in. We don't want them, but they do sneak in. So our drivers, they're trained to just go pick up the stuff and bring it back. They can't like look through and feed through everything. They like, all right, this is what they got. We got to pick it up. All right, cool. So if you guys like, oh, okay, let me go drop off, let's see, a CRT or a DVD player or speaker, stuff like that, we will turn you around. Like, hey, my warehouse team, we don't like turning people around, but it's like we have to, because again, we get orders from our boss and like, hey, we cannot accept those under no circumstance, because word of mouth spreads, and some people like, hey, I turned in my speaker to them last week. You can go turn in your speakers, and then it's like that person tells 5 more people. Then now you like telling like 20 people in a month, like, hey, we don't. I don't know where you got this idea that we accept speakers, but we don't. So this is a picture of our hard drive shredder. Our person has operated and it crunches them real crispy. So what we do, this is for our hard drives that we can't refurbish. So that means the data wiping system is like catching errors, is not wiping everything completely. All right, we cannot use that hard drive. Again, because it still has some data on it, it is not completely wiped. So we put in this little thing right here, turn that knob, press that green button, and it's like these big gears that turn and turn. And it looks like this at the beginning, it looks like this at the end. There's no way you can even extract anything out of those, unless you're a mad scientist. So, I never seen somebody done it, and those things hurt if you just messing with your bare hands. Those things hurt the ball. Yes, ma'am.
Where does that material then go?
That material goes to our downstream vendor. Some our downstream vendors, they accept scrap like this, so they extract straight a hard drive and they break them down even further. So they use the metal or they use the copper from some of the material, and they'll break them down. Since they were a nonprofit, some of the stuff we do send down, give us a profit, but we use that profit just to stay afloat. Because again, we have drivers, we have warehouse associates, we have techs, and we have logistics coordinators. So we try to make enough just so we can pay them and make sure they do their job just as efficient as possible.
There used to be gold also, right?
Yes,
Is
yes.
there still gold in any of these old things?
Yes. We'll get motherboards, like different components from a computer, like the desktop version. Sometimes they just come just as scrap. So we have to separate the motherboard, separate different types of motherboards, the power supply, the RAM, like we separate all those. So when we send them out to our vendors, they're like, hey, you just sent me a whole bunch of hoopla. It's like, no. Those speakers, these are desktops we're sending you, and this is that. So that way they know. And once we send like that, they're like, okay, cool, we know this is this. And if they have any other let's say like, hey, well, this one's not all like that, then they tell us, and I go to my warehouse team, I'm like, hey, they saying all those speakers were on speakers. What's going on? Like, do y'all know what speakers look like? So, and not to belittle them or nothing like that, because we get a wide range. We get a wide range of stuff. So we can get speakers from 2020, and then I know where they get a speaker from 1987. They're like, ooh, they look, I don't know what that is and stuff. And we welcome them. Yeah, so sometimes they, sometimes they question stuff, and sometimes they show me, they ask me, like, hey, is this a DVD player? I think so, yeah, okay, yeah, it is. And then I pull up my phone, I look at the serial code, it's HP, I'll type in the serial code, I'm looking at it. Hey, it's a DVD player, you're right, okay, yeah, okay, it goes in there. So we try to, again, we pride ourselves to make sure we sort these things. And same thing for our text. Our text, again, like I said, they can't work on certain old material because it's kind of hard to work with old material with modern like operating systems. So like I said, you don't want to have a computer from 87 trying to run the modern Windows and it keeps having issues. We're like, nope, can't do that. So the point we try to pride ourselves, like once this stuff gets in your hand, you're not gonna have no issues at all. And the benefit of buying from us, if you buy from us, everything you buy has a 1-year warranty. So laptop, desktop, monitors, like, hey, again, because we understand these are refurbished. We test them thoroughly. And by us testing thoroughly, it's like, okay, but we also have to make more stuff as well. So we test them thoroughly to make sure we test key functions, but some things are completely out of our hands, something we'll never suspect. So these guys spend probably 1 or 2 or 3 days working on these things, making sure they're up and dandy. They'll take it off the charger, look at it, play stuff, make sure they can check for key functions and everything. Like, it's good to go. People come by. And then 3 months or so, they're like, somebody bring back like, hey, it's just complete. Won't come back on. So, but we try to reduce those factors. We try to investigate why they did that, how we can go about checking for those type of things, and then we just put in our reports. We put those in reports again. One of the things we do pride on is continuous improvement. We can be the best we is, but we can always improve. We can always improve. So that if that is like, hey, like one time, I remember some customers, again, they're like, hey, we don't know where to go to drop off. We start having signs. We start having signs like, hey, you drop off over here. Again, we have those little pamphlets like those on there, even though it doesn't have TVs on there. We let everybody know, like, hey, communicate to the public, like, this is what we accept. This is what we don't. So that way, because it pains me a lot because some people do come from out of state and like, hey, I'm here to donate. It's like, take the and then like I came from, I'm like, oh man, okay. But I can't bend the knee. Because again, like I said, you tell one person, all right, we'll let it slide. It's like 5, turn it to 20, then there's a whole bunch of 100. Then businesses like, hey, somebody told me you accept speakers. It's like, no, we don't. So even though it pains me and stuff like that, it just is very training. It's very training because some people like, I took a day off to turn this in and stuff like that. I'm trying to recycle the right way, and I'm just like, and yeah, it's very disheartening to turn somebody away. We don't pride ourselves in doing it, but it's something that we have to do. Brand new desktops can cost anywhere from 5,000 to gaming computers for 2,000. So again, Best Buy, Walmart. Sometimes, again, when I first came up from the organization, I want to go to college. I was like, okay, how much all this stuff cost? I see a laptop. I just got this job. That's my whole paycheck. So they had computers ready accessible for me for like 150 to 400 if I needed to be super fast. But the one I had that was for like 150 did everything I needed to do. It still runs smooth. It still runs fast. And guess what? Hey, if anything happened to it, I got a 1-year warranty. So I'm glad this organization existed because I went to BRCC. I'm not going to Southwestern University State. So I'm definitely all my laptops has been from. There's not having one laptop. I'm like, oh, let me go to Best Buy and get a new one. I'm like, no, I like this stuff. They do what it needs to do. They're fast. They're responsive. I have a 1-year warranty. I barely even use the 1-year warranty to be honest, because by the time anything happens, it's like year 6 with it, and I'm just like, oh, okay, it was about time. Anyway. All right. You can buy refurbished computer at CACRC for much lower prices than new items. Laptops for 150 and desktop for 75. all our computers are clean, thoroughly tested, checked by we have more technicians, and have a free 1 year warranty. I don't know what it says free, but we have a 1 year warranty. So again, you can have for 11 months, something happened to you, like, I don't know why, say you just wanna get checked in. Cause again, stuff happens, like, hey, it smell weird, or just you notice a difference. Like, hey, I'm not able to log on to the internet or something like that. I've been having it for a while. I don't know what's going in. I text it, go through it, test everything again, try to troubleshoot, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, something is wrong with your internet. And then since you're in that 1 year warranty, they just like, all right, we can't fix that issue, so we're just gonna give you a new thing. And I know you guys saying like, well, what about my data on there right now? Like, I have pictures and everything, I have files, I have documents. We do data transfer. So we do data transfer. So when you bring in that laptop, you bring that laptop and it's like some finicky work and we can't we can't fix it. You ask like, hey, and we call you guys up too. It's not like, oh, we do it automatically. Like we call you guys up, and some people like, no, you can get rid of everything on there. It was running slow. I think that's the reason why it's running slow. So they like, hey, I like a data transfer. They like, I like a data transfer to put everything on there. I personally had a customer, and it touched my heart because she had a very old computer, had child photos, grandson photos, everything, and even though that computer was, it was killing me because it took like me 3 days to get everything off that computer onto her new laptop, and she cried. She cried. She's like, "Oh my god, I thought that was lost forever." And I'm like, I tried my best, but it can't. So, okay, CACRC distribute 1,399 computers between May to December 2020 following the COVID shutdown. We help children attend virtual schools, parents working from home, and quarantine seniors who needed to be connected to their families. When you donate your computers to CACRC, there's a good chance you're helping someone who needs one. So again, it goes into the refurbishing thing. Like, hey, I got a new, say you do go to Best Buy or go to Walmart. Hey, I don't need this computer. Let me just go donate it and just get off my hands, Again, and you might like, I'm preventing going to the waste field, but you're doing much, much more than that. You're giving other people a chance to like, all right, this computer can be refurbished, or this laptop can be refurbished, or these products can be refurbished for other people that can use. So not only it's kind of, you're just rehashing the cycle again. You're like, oh, they can still use this. Again, donate us, we wipe everything, make sure everything's good. So when they get it, it's a fresh blank computer they getting, and they can like, all right, I can do my homework, I can do my schoolwork, I can do everything I need to do necessarily. And then people come in too. We're friendly folks. We like, hey, I need a computer that runs Zoom, have Office and stuff like that. We'll put Office on your computer or additional fee, and they just want to know key things. So we don't shy away from like somebody coming there like, hey, can this run this? We have people on standby that like, yes, it can run it. And if you have any issues, you bring it back. Hey, I tried running this. It's not doing it. What's going on or something like that, and they'll let you know. But we barely get anything like that. Everything like from Zoom, PowerPoint, going on YouTube, watching Netflix and Hulu. Everybody's very accessible to do those on our stuff we refurbish. So November 15th is American Recycling Day. So on that day, so those fees I was talking about for printers, copiers, televisions, they go away. So if you call your family members, stuff like that, and get all assembled, if need be, my warehouse team, they gonna hate that day. but they gonna do it with a grin. I'll try to make it. I'll try to make it. All right, just muscle through it. I'm gonna tell them. I might bring them donuts that morning. Just like, all right, just bear through it. There's gonna be a lot of people coming through here. So again, we're located at 1400 Main Street. This is our number, and this is Veterans Louisiana 70802. A nice tip: if you hit the railroad coming, you went too far. You went to really as soon as you see the railroad, we're right at the right. We're right there at the right. So this is our facility. This is how it looks right now. And you see cars parked to the side and everything. You're at the right place. These are double doors you'll go through, and there'll be somebody there to greet you. If it's locked, knock on it. We have a little ring thing as well to ring, and somebody will surely be right there. As you can see, there's pictures throughout our years. Our store hours is Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4. So that's 8:30 to 4. You go on Google, You go on Google and it says 8 to 4:30. Don't believe Google. All right. That's the time. 8 is when we first come in. So that's when we first come in. So it's not like we don't want y'all there. It's like we're literally trying to get everything set up. Because I done had some people knocking at 8. Like, you gotta wait like 30 minutes. We getting coffee, we trying to open up stuff, we trying to check things, we gotta check our facility to make sure nothing happened to it and everything. Trying to make sure all our employees rolling and stuff like that. And 8:30, we open the doors and hey, we love to see y'all. And 4, that's our cutoff time. And 4, after 4 it get a little wonky because 4 like, hey, we gotta close. We gotta get rid of some trash and everything. Gotta make sure everything is wiped down. I gotta go around the whole facility and make sure it's locked up. So at 4:15, all of us like, oh my God. And some people they come with stuff to donate and we're like, just give me. So we try again, even if we make those steps, but please don't be like, the late if you come 14 now, I can guarantee you we probably almost all out the door by that time. So and our recycling dock. So Monday is our day for our guys to come in and reset. Our guys, they again, if you go down this road right here to the right, they'll have like a gate. You honk your horn or anything, something like that, somebody's gonna be there to greet you. It's gonna be a little fold gate. They can come in, tell you to, all right, you can either bag yourself up or if you want to carry it right there, we have our warehouse team there, go to your vehicle as well and carry the stuff out as well. Now the caveat to that though, again, November 15th, the only day printers, copiers, and TVs are waived. The thing about that is you would have to go in here first. So let everybody know if you have those materials, those have to be paid up front. My warehouse team would not accept it unless like they get an intercom like, hey, they paid, or you guys come out with a receipt like, hey, I paid it. Look, see, I'm not trying to run with them. So because again, they get very strict on us about like, hey, did they pay? Because we have some people that will lie like, oh yeah, I paid. Oh, I went to the front already, and it's like. And then they have like 20 printers and we accept it. And then I go to the front like, hey, did that person pay? One person. I'm like, so again, and that's just the growing pains of it. Again, we have to, all right, they got to come back with a receipt and somebody from Intercom will tell us like, hey, please accept all their stuff they're donating. Even their printer stuff like that. So, and again, we don't like to turn people away and stuff like that, but it's kind of one of those things that it's instilled like, hey, since we started accepting this stuff, it costs us to send them downstream. So not everything we get is profit. Some of the things we get, we send downstream and it costs us to send it downstream. So it's one of those things like, hey, this is costing us, so like we gotta do something. We gotta do something. So and we try to make sure it's very cost efficient and stuff like that. So that way people are like, all right, cool. We're not trying to like, hey, you bring a small print that's $100. No, we're not trying to do that. We're not trying to run one off. It's like, hey, just the necessary, hey, that's what it is. We'll take it, and that's it. We'll dispose of your property. So we're on socials as well, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and we also have an eBay online shopping store. So with our eBay, we post miscellaneous stuff on there as well. We have a guy named Sean, and we have some other people that go throughout the warehouse, picking unique things, picking stuff that they know people don't. Some things, I was there when I don't know you guys are familiar with Ataris. They had a whole bunch of Ataris, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. This is all right. I ain't knew we could get this type of stuff, and they have old vinyl players and stuff. I'm like, oh, cool. And it's kind of cool because working there, my warehouse crew, they love it because they get first dibs. They see stuff as it comes in. They see something cool or fancy. And I tell them like, all right, as long as you let me know. Again, even if it's a computer or laptop, I want that. All right, slap the name tape on it. The techs are gonna work on it, see can they refurbish it. If they can't, like, you know where it goes. But if they can, all right, they refurbish it and everything, they gonna buy it like how regular the public buys it. Again. So again, that's what they love it. They love it. They're like, oh, I like that. Is that a TV? Does it work? I was like, you want to carry that 45-inch? Like, I'll take it off your hand. I'm like, all right, you can test it right now, see does it work again. And again, some things we don't really test for. TVs, that is one of the things we do not test for. That's why we're not reselling TVs. But again, since they're in there, they're like, I know this probably don't work, but I want it. I'm like, all right, cool. All right, take it. So that's one thing we do pride ourselves. We test everything we try to sell back to the public. From desktop, laptop, keyboards, mouses, monitors, all of them go through a key function check to make sure once you get in your hands, it works completely. You won't have any issues with it. So so again, this is our team. This is kind of the end of the slideshow. There's our logistics coordinator. He's the one that's putting a whole bunch of dates and places on our calendar that my warehouse team is just like, oh my God, you're killing us. But hey, you know, we're glad we're so busy. It's better to stay busy and be like, all right, people know about us. We're going out there, we're getting stuff to be like, do anybody know about us? We can come pick up stuff, we pick it up for free. Like, come on. So this is our QA tech manager. He's one of the guys that QCs all your guys' material. So quality check again. He's the one that makes the cutoff. These are the computers we can work on. All right, he passes all the key functions check, and he goes around initially. He goes back after his text to make sure all those things are working properly. So it's not somebody just like, all right, it's done. Here you go. He goes behind him. He's like, hey, why it not cutting on? Why it shut off when you unplug it? Oh, I don't know. Why you even test it? Like, come on now. Don't send it up there because again it falls back on him. So he definitely makes sure that his team is which never really even happens, but he makes sure his team is pushing out quality. That's another thing we try to pride ourselves pushing out quality and reliable products, refurbished products. Again, you know, there I go, direct operations. If you guys pay a visit, trust me, you'll probably see me in pants or shorts. It's either one of those. And I'm like head down, zooming across, going back and forth. Even my one of our workers right here, Miss Ashley right here, she can tell like sometimes I have a glazed look in my face. I'm like, I got A, B, and C, but I'm worried about Z, X, and Y. Okay, all right. And this is our interim executive director right now, Michael Rochelle. He's the one that's probably viewing the thing right now as well. He's very friendly guy. He let everybody knows like, hey, you know, contact us, let us know about if you guys have any questions, if you need to know about pickups, what we can and can't accept or something, or if you guys want to drop by, you guys can. And if you want to schedule a tour again, you can hit my email, hit his, and we're trying to find a schedule that fits us. Because again, he's been busy. He's been our interim executive director, our former executive director. She stepped down to upgrade to a different higher position. So she's been with there since I was there. So like I said, 2014, she's been there since I even thought about coming up there. So yeah, it's been a nice change, stuff like that. The public definitely keep us on the toes, and especially with people donating so much. Again, I can't give out the businesses, stuff like that. We pick up stuff from, but again, school board parishes, government facilities, businesses that shut down, just places that have material like, hey, we do not know where to put this stuff. As long as they try to not, it's not like, hey, we got couches and furniture. Do you guys take those? No, we don't. No. We electronic e-waste. That's what we focus on. We trying to focus on electronic e-waste, trying to prevent all this stuff from going for the landfill. So we try to pride ourselves in doing that. Again, we have a lot of things that we pride ourselves in. Customer improvement and making sure the public knows about us and pushing that out again, because we don't want you guys to be misinformed. Like, hey, they say they take clothes too. Like, sorry. You go to the other people. Go to those other people. We don't sell clothes.
They don't take them either.
And so we try to make sure again. We don't want you guys coming with boxes of stuff. Like, I just clean that and get you. This is gonna be your guys' best day. We look at it like we can't take none. I'm sorry. And if you can't take none, we'll take that laptop. But as long as I've been there, I've seen a lot of material. I've seen a lot of material come and go. I've seen our warehouse jam packed with stuff, and I'm like, it's gonna be a busy week. And then but again, me coming out and seeing the results. We had programs. I forgot what December it was, either last December or the one we partnered up with an organization to give back to the community, and they worked on giving on laptops and desktops for low income families. So we pride ourselves in doing that. Like, hey, we can take refurbished goods and give to people that really need it. Again, people that were like, hey, I don't have that much, I'm worried about X, Y, and Z. I really can't focus on that type of stuff. And the partnership we had organized with, they told people to fill out an application, they weeded out everything, and they picked these people, they said individuals, like, hey, pick it up over here. It's not on here, but there's pictures of us in elf hats and stuff like that, handing them out and stuff, but I definitely do like seeing the community like, hey, we didn't know you guys exist. I'm like, "Dang, I've been for 10 years, I'm still here." Even when I'm thinking like, hey, by now everybody know who he is. There's people like, we had people from like probably down the block came back like, y'all was wondering what y'all doing here. We've been down the block this whole time. So it kills me. It kills me to this day because even like I tell armed forces, hospitals, everybody like, hey, you guys need computers and laptops, and you don't want to like again. Some people have high end stuff and crap stuff, and they don't know what to do. They're like, oh my god, this thing was $800. I don't have $800. I have three, and like, just come to us. We gonna help you. We gonna get you what you need. You need office, we'll get you what you need. And if we can't, we'll point you somewhere else. It bums us out, but it's like, hey, you know, pretty sure everything refurbished, you can run. And then even I know kids, they like their games and all that stuff like that. If you have inquiries like, hey, my nephew this or that, or they want to run a high end game, we also have high end game systems. So you can call and inquire about that, and they'll tell you about the specs. And we have our tech team. They'll let you know. They'll beef it up to make sure that they can run the games the kids want to play. So again, once we try to get it to your hand, and we don't try to mislead you. We're like, hey, it's gonna run this, and you're gonna be good. You want to be like, hey, you said it's gonna run it, but it didn't even run it for like 2 minutes. Like, oh no. We try again. We pride ourselves. We don't like being disloyal. We like being accurate, and we like being very forward. We don't pride ourselves and try to mislead or like try to make a quick buck. Because again, if you get a computer from us and something happens to it, you're like, hey, that didn't even last a week. We do not pride ourselves. I've been there when my former director, she's like, all right, so what's going on with this computers? Because we've been getting this influx of way back, and the director of operation time, he's like, we need to cut off because those are very old computers and we're giving to the public. He's like, they need to be cut off. The reason why those computers not working because they're old and they have a problem running the modern operating systems, the modern offices, even YouTube. They trying to watch YouTube and then the computer's like wheezing a little bit, just trying to even run that. So again, we test for everything. We don't like we test for a lot of stuff.
What's your cutoff point for selling computers?
Selling computers. We try to work with i5 and up now.
Okay.
We try to work with i5 and up. I think 5th gen and up. I think some 4th gen come through a little bit, but I would have to ask my techs, but I don't think we just sell i5 and up. So i5 up. So that's i5, i7, i9, and then again the price will reflect depending on the stuff again. So we're very thorough. Let me see this one have it on here. Like on the back of here, right here, it tells you the specs right here. They test everything again. They do this the quality check right here. Then you test the CPU the type, the RAM, the hard drive. Tell you what model it is, the date, and tells you who first made it, who first refurbished it, and who checked them. So it's never always the same. It's never the same person because like, oh, I tested the computer. This should be good. Let me check it out too. No, you don't. No, slow down. So again, it always has to be somebody else different that checks it. So we try to we shoot for i5s and i7s up. Again, I see all the stuff that's coming in. So I didn't see computers be 4th gen and lower come in. I'm just like, I'm sorry, I want you guys. Y'all guys going to go downstream. So. Yeah, you got a question?
Yes, my granddaughters, okay, they get Chromebooks at school, okay, and it seems like every year they get a new Chromebook, which I assume that they're recycling to use. So what do you do with Chromebooks?
Chromebooks, what we do, right now, they're trying to work on a program to see can it refurbish them, but right now what we do is we send them to the downstream vendors and they break them down or they refurbish them as well. Since we are R2, we send to other people that's R2 as well. What that mean is when we're shredding and wiping everything, they're doing the same thing. And if they don't, they're gonna trust me, they're doing the same thing. Cause they gotta go through a whole certification and it's like a yearly certification. Like they come to our facility and they're like, show us how you wipe stuff. Okay, that's the standard. All right. So they're going through the same thing. It is rigorous. It keeps us on our toes and stuff like that because not that we're not doing it, because everything we put on paper we are doing. It's just making sure, like, hey, this is what we're doing. There's no weird stuff going on, and if anything, it's more about it's more just making sure our warehouse know, making sure all our team know. Because again, our warehouse is like, you don't know what the takes do, and we don't expect them to. So it's kind of doing a whole bunch of training throughout the year. This is what we do. This is what we have to do. Just know like, oh, maybe we do this. No, you have to do this. You have to wipe this. If it's not completely wiped, it gets shredded. This goes over here. You cannot put it over here. Data sensitive items, they are locked up. So all our data sensitive items, again, that has people data information, there's not a picture up here. But it's locked up in the cage, and then it's locked up in the cage until they can wipe it completely. So it's not like, oh, I have access to it. No. And so we have several locked doors and areas that those things stay locked behind. So yeah, I think that's the end of my slideshow. Okay. Oh yes, that's cool. Yes, sir.
I tried to get one time and it was locked. I couldn't put another operating system on.
You can put
Is that
a
a problem a lot?
no, we should not get that problem a lot. Once we get once our computer's refurbished, you said once you try to put another
I
operating
had admin lock.
had an admin lock, you shouldn't have an admin lock on there. So what you do, you can bring it in and let us know those type of things, and our text would definitely go through it, and they'll probably, 1 year warranty, they'll probably hand you
I
another.
probably didn't have it, so
Oh,
we settled that another way.
they set
Do
it
y'all
up.
do the East Baton Rouge Recycling Day?
Yes, we do. There's times we went there as well. I participated, and I was there. Our trucks come out there. They put the big boxes right there, and I'm right there. Sometimes depending on, I know I was there for one of them. And people come by, they hand us their stuff. We throw them in the big boxes and stuff like that. At the end of the event, just bring it back to our facility to unload. So again, and by those events too, we also like tell people like, just because it's more like, people just trying to get stuff and go, like, hey, here's my thing, and go. Be like, hey, still we got like, hey, like, can't accept that, like, can't take those, I'm sorry. And then, and I've seen it just grow to some people's faces, and it doesn't pride me in saying it no whatsoever. I wish we can take everything. It'd be easy out their hands, but some things we can't take. So, but yeah, we definitely try to participate in other recycling events and stuff like that. Because again, like on my calendar right now, I know there's like 2 or 3 Saturday events that we're volunteering for to go over there and just spread awareness and to go pick up stuff as well. Okay, you sir.
Yeah, I got a question. When you refurbish some of these computers and resell to the public in schools and stuff, are any of them capable of handling a Windows 11?
Windows 11, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, okay, yeah, so there are, and just having that question for our text and stuff that they will be able to guide you. I definitely upgraded my laptop to Windows 11. I know some of my colleagues, they have their desktop stuff. Again, we refurbish all our stuff, so my colleagues, they have their desktop refurbished from the stuff we get, and some of them already upgraded to Windows 11, and it says it's working smoothly.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because October of next year, Microsoft's not gonna support Windows 10 anymore.
Yes, yeah, we were paying very closely to that as well. When it was the movement to Office 10, what it is that we get these label stickers and stuff like that, and they have these operating product keys. That's what they're called. So we have these product keys, and we put them in, and it makes sure that this thing is fully licensed. It's not no bootleg or any off-brand thing. This is official. So I'm pretty sure sort of next year, once that cutoff happens, we're gonna start ordering product keys on Windows 11 and make sure these computers can handle those things without no issue. Which one of my cohorts, he already switched to Windows 11. He's telling me all the good things about it. He said, yeah, some things are different, stuff like that. And I'm like, all right, cool. And again, our logistic coordinator, Mr. John, I like to call him, he also switched too. And he's like, yeah, it ain't that much different, but they got some cool, fast things that he likes. So we're definitely proud of ourselves, preparing ourselves for the future. We don't want to be caught off guard and like, hey, Windows 11 come around the corner, and we're like, hey, we're still good with 10, huh? Like, no, we try to pride ourselves and try to prep ourselves. We try to make sure we see that issue right on and like, all right, we see that issue, what we're doing right now. So that way, when we get to that point where that cutoff happens and people wanna come in for Windows 11, that these things are ready to be, ready to be on Windows 11 and they're operating cleanly and that there's no issues whatsoever. No problem, no problem. So,
T,
mhm,
the club, computer club, we've been able to, put 11 on computers that don't have TPM,
mhm,
chip on it. So, you can let people know that it's possible
right,
to do that.
yes,
Uh, the computer may not be technically 11 compatible, but
right.
it can be put on.
All right, yeah, that's definitely something we definitely will push out to the public, like, hey, even though, you guys, it's just, cause I know some of them, I think they're like free upgrades right now or something to go to Windows 11. So, we'll tell people like, hey, you can check the compatibility. I remember when I upgraded my, laptop to the next operating system, it went smoothly. There was no issues or anything whatsoever. It just went smoothly. Everything was already compatible. So again, I'm not a tech no more, but I will wholeheartedly believe, and my techs, they're not gonna mislead you there again. I'll talk to my Q&A guy, and he's gonna be like, they're not gonna mislead you. They're like, oh yeah, these are definitely competitive. They can switch over to the next one easy.
Yeah.
So,
If it has TPM.
yes. So, but yeah, our facility is very small versus other buildings and stuff like that, but it gets a lot of stuff throughout the whole entire state in there. Very jam packed to the point where it keeps my head on the swivel because it's like, all right, we got all this stuff. So how are we gonna process this stuff properly? Because again, you get some old stuff and you get some new stuff, and you're like, oh, I really want to mess with the new stuff. I know this with we will refurbish these quicker and stuff like that, but again, you gotta refurbish the old stuff just the same as well. So it's very fun and alike because when I first came out, I knew nothing about computers. I knew nothing about recycling. I didn't know nothing. I was like, okay, they went somewhere. I know where they went, and by me going to there, I know how to break down the desktop. I know what the vital points of a desktop is. I know how to take apart a laptop. Hey, there at one point where I was a tech and we wasn't supposed to replace screens, and I was doing it, and I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah. That was dicey though. They work perfectly, but some screens they're very finicky, and once you take them off, you cannot replace them. So I did that. I had my time to take. I had my time as a warehouse associate, seeing stuff come in and go out, and I have seen my time as a monitor tech testing stuff, and just seeing the joy in people's faces, like, oh, thank God we didn't know you guys exist. We have monthly and weekly sales as well. So we have Christmas sales, Black Friday sales. We try to pride ourselves in having a sale every week. So just sign up for our newsletter. You can go on CACRC.com or just type it on Google and be part of our newsletter. And then they'll shoot out what we have that week. Or again, like follow us on our social medias like earlier, and you'll be notified. We're very specialized in Facebook a lot. So they post a whole bunch of stuff on Facebook. They post all our events where you guys can pick up where other curricular things like the guy mentioned, like, hey, the Baton Rouge recycling events, they'll let them know, hey, we're out there. You guys can come out and bring it out there. Cause I understand like some people, hey, I'm busy Monday to Friday. I ain't got time to come through there to drop off my thing. Well, hey, this is Saturday event. You guys can bring it over there and we'll take it off your hands. So yeah, that's about it for my presentation. I'm gonna let anybody.
Thank you so much, we really appreciate it. Answering a lot of the questions we had too.